Hey everyone. I'm always going to tell you thank you for joining me, and I do apologize that it has taken me a while to post a video. Um, I have just been really busy with a lot of things going on in my life. Um, if you are a praying person, I would ask that you would please pray for me, that I would have better time management so that I can do the things that I feel like I need to do. And doing these videos is something that I have felt led to do. And so just pray for me that I would have the time or be able to make the time to do this. Um, I am a person that suffers from fatigue, so things kind of do wear me down at times, and I don't always feel like doing things that I need to do. So if you would just pray for me, please, that the Lord would give me the physical strength to be able to continue to make my videos, and I won't have such a long gap in between my videos like I have between this one and my last one. So, in my last video, I talked about how Caleb had passed and that initial shock that I had experienced from that passing. And in the beginning, I done some things that I don't think were very helpful in my journey. Like I returned to school 2 weeks after Caleb passed, and I don't think that was a very good idea. And I tried to keep myself busy a lot. And instead of kind of trying to deal with this grief a little better, I also drank. And that is definitely not something that I would recommend anyone to do to try to deal with their grief at all. Because it is not helpful. It does numb you for a while, but you know that the next morning when you wake up, you're still going to have that grief and that heartache. So that's not something that I would suggest that anyone do, even though that is something that I've done, and I know people are going to handle their grief differently. But you know, I'm trying to be helpful to those that are dealing with grief. So let me just say from my personal experience that was not the best way to handle that. And neither was keeping busy. So I didn't really take time that I needed to process it like I needed to. But I know that after kind of the shock had worn off, and then reality started setting in. And it was hard, obviously. I I don't remember exactly how long that I would like cry every day. And then I would get drunk and cry, and like I said, not the best way to handle that situation by any means. But I think it took me a while before I really kind of even started accepting things. To say that I will ever fully accept it, I'm not sure that I can. I may, but at this moment, I'm not sure. And a week from today will be 12 years since Caleb passed. And in those, in those 12 years and thinking back to all of that stuff, from the beginning, that right after he died up until this point now, there's just been so much that has happened. And, um, sometimes I guess I've handled situations okay. And then other times, I haven't. And, it's hard for me to, process emotions at times, because there were a lot of times, I think, especially in the beginning, that I would try to kind of hold back my tears and my emotions. And that's not healthy either. I did find also that I think that when people found out, I kind of felt like at times I was treated a little different. You know, any death, is not something that's easy to talk about or easily dealt with. And with the death of a child as well, I think that people were uneasy with it because, he was very young. He was, my only child, and it was a sudden passing. And I think that people kind of like, don't want to think about that. But it's, as I've said before, it's a hard journey. It's always going to be a journey. And there's always going to be like those bumps in the road. But I remember that after I went back to school after Caleb had passed, and then I went straight on to work, just started working, and like I said, just staying busy as I possibly could. And maybe that was kind of my way of coping, but also I think I was avoiding, and that was not healthy for me, because we can't really avoid things. We have to face them. And there were times that in my mind I was not, my mind was not well, because I felt like I can't go on like this, and I can't go on without him. And just some really difficult days that I had. And now that looking back and I think about that, I don't know, I guess it kind of seems a little normal, I guess, for people to feel like that when dealing with a loss, because it's just so difficult to think about the rest of your life without this person in it. And I had my moments of when I would maybe do things I wouldn't ordinarily do, or I think my emotions would just kind of go from just like one extreme to the other, and maybe that's natural. I don't know. Maybe someone else out there has felt like that. You just go from one extreme to the other. And maybe that's just a part of how grief is. I did go to counseling for a while, and I read books and things like that. And there were so many times though that I felt like there is no help for me. No one can help me. And it took me a long time before I realized that the only person that could help me was God. And He did. And I didn't even realize it at that time, but He did. And He has, to this day, helped me. But I think that I still have, those moments where I just can't remember things. And at the time that Caleb died, I was not in a good relationship with my boyfriend that was living with me. That was not a great relationship either. And so just a lot of factors that kind of went into the beginning of that grief journey after the initial shock and everything. It's not like everything went back to normal or that there would ever be normal again. We have to find a new normal, and it's hard. And I think that it was hard for me to accept the fact that I was going to have to find a new normal. And the first couple years, I guess, after Caleb had went home, there, again, with the memory gaps, there's things I can remember, there's things I can't. And again, I was drinking a lot and trying to stay busy and just not dealing in a healthy manner, not dealing with my grief in a healthy manner at all. And I would urge any of you to try to not do that. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Everyone's going to deal with their grief their own way, and no one can tell you how to deal with your grief or not to. And I'm not either. So, but I know that it did not help me at all to try to handle it the way that I did. But as I have moved farther into my grief journey, things have definitely gotten better. But I do know it's hard. I know that it's hard. And that we have questions and we have fears and we want answers. And, and again, like I said before, that I struggle because I don't feel like I have an answer to what happened to Caleb. I still struggle with that to this day. We have feelings of loss. Sometimes we have feelings of guilt. I know that I dealt with that and have dealt with it, and there are still times I do. But all of our emotions just kind of get a little wild and just all over the place. And I think maybe I might have put a lot of stress on myself to try to act normal and be normal. But I just want to say this, that if you don't think, if you think that people don't think you're normal or whatever, or that they expect you to just go back to be like you were before all this happened, that's not going to happen. And you be who you need to be at the time you need to be. If you need to cry, then you go ahead and cry. And, I dealt with guilty feelings about being happy. And you know, I was a, you know, I felt guilty when I would eat food because I thought, you know, why should I be able to do this when my son can't? It's just a lot of emotional roller coaster type things going on. Um, but again, drinking, staying busy in the beginning, um, after kind of the initial shock wore off, definitely did not help me. And I think it actually kind of maybe prolonged um, my initial acceptance of my grief and loss. And I I don't want other people to kind of go through that. So that's why I'm here. I want to try to help people um, to deal with their grief, you know, in a healthy manner. Because I don't think that I did, and I know everyone is going to deal with their grief in their own way. I know they're going to. Um, but I just, again, I always want you all to know that if you've had a loss, regardless of what kind of loss it is, a family member or someone close to you, especially a child, I just always want people to know that I am here. I will help you. I will hug you. I will listen to you. I I will do anything I can to help someone because I have been there. I have been there. And, the Lord has just laid this heavy on my heart to try to be of help to those that are struggling in grief. So, that's the reason I'm posting these videos. I want you all to know that, I'm here. I'm here for you for anything that you need. If you need to get contact with me, post a comment on my video or something, just do whatever it is that you need to do. Just know that I'm here and I will do my best to try to help you all out. And I just want to thank you all for taking the time that you do. You all don't have to take this time out of your day to watch these, but I appreciate so much that you do. And if you know of anyone that could benefit or just needs to talk to me or anything, please let me know. Um, you know, this has happened to me for a reason. God's put this on my heart for a reason. So, and He has given me that desire to help people for a reason. So, and I just want to thank Him for that. And I give Him all the praise and honor and glory for any and every good thing that comes from this. And I appreciate y'all. Again, pray for me, please, that I can just do some time management a little bit better and get everything kind of in place and make time for the things that I need to do. And this is important to me, so I need to, be more dedicated and not wait 2 months to post a video. So, but again, thank you all so much. And I love each and every one of you and I appreciate you. And I will be posting another video soon. So, thank you all again. Until next time. See ya.